Hello and welcome, everybody. Welcome to your show, Think Big and Be Inspired. Tell us, please, where are you tuning in from? Tonight, we have a very special guest. He has experience in sales and finance, and his major experience he's been in the recruitment scene for a long time, helping recruiters in healthcare and in different areas and in different functions how to market the recruitment system and he has a lot of experience also on LinkedIn Live, and he's a great friend of, I can proudly say that he's a friend of mine. Please, everybody, welcome Rollis. Fun to know. Hey, Rollis, how are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you doing?
It's so good to meet you today.
Same here. Same here. And good to be with your group, your tribe, your community. This is awesome. Hi everyone.
Hello, everybody, and we have already Abraham is joining us from Canada. Hi, Abraham. Thank you so much for joining us.
Abraham. Nice to meet you.
Rollis, you had a journey in the corporate life, I know earlier in finance and sales, and you moved to recruitment and you decided to be an entrepreneur. Tell us, how did this come and how did you plan it, or it came by coincidence? Tell us about this story.
Wow, that's a good question. A lot of it's like a series of accidents that led me here. It wasn't like I had this master plan, but I will say this: when I was growing up, I did like the idea of working for myself. My dad did some things where he left his plant job and he wanted to do some things on his own, and so I did like the idea of being an entrepreneur. That was implanted in me from a very
Mindset.
young age. Yeah, that mindset was there. But you do a lot of folks. You go into the whole thing. You get a job, you get paid, and get into kind of the whole corporate grind and all that. And so I was involved with that, and so I got a chance to experience that, and I appreciate that experience. But I also appreciate the entrepreneurial experience, and this is where I should be. I feel like I think this is where I should be is entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I totally agree. And tell me about this sign in the background. I like it a lot.
Oh, you like that? Okay,
Yeah.
this is my newest toy, and anybody who knows me, I like the kind of the just little tech toys, And so basically, this is kind of a kind of a DIY kind of thing. I just took
Yeah.
my iPad, right, and I connect my iPad through this TV. This is a 50-inch television, and here in the
Very cool.
States, this television used to be like a couple of grand, a few years ago. But I got this TV for $299, two
Wow.
hundred ninety
Yeah,
nine dollars, right?
yeah, that's a
And
great price.
it's got the Apple AirPlay on it, so
Yeah.
I can basically just mirror my screen here, and I can sit here and type whatever I want.
Yeah, it's
And
very cool. Yeah.
what's really cool too is I haven't used this yet, Ahmed, but I'm going to use this for a presentation because you can like use a laser pointer.
Yeah.
So I'm going to also, because I'm part of your tribe today, I'm going to be I'm going to be Think Big Junior.
Yeah.
This is a major. Oops, see, I love this because if I make a mistake, I can fix it. I'm Think Big Junior.
Oh. Thank you, Rollis. That's really cool. Yeah, I love this screen in the background, and you told me you will teach me this, and we'll talk about it with
Absolutely.
the audience how to do this great tricks.
You know what's really kind of cool, man? When I first I do this on client meetings now. When I get on
Yeah.
a client meeting, I say hi and I put their name on it, and they love it. They love seeing their name
Yeah.
on my screen.
Yeah, it's amazing to engage the clients. Yeah, I like it. It's very nice.
Yeah, love it. Oh, no, I didn't try. I'm gonna show you one other thing. I can also do the laser pointer. So see a little red
Yeah.
laser pointer? I'm just doing that with my finger. And that
Ah, okay.
it's called Notability is the name of the program, in case anybody wants to look that up.
That's cool, man. Yeah, we can put it in the comments or something if anybody's interested in getting it. Yes. Tell us, yeah, if we go to recruitment, you've been in the recruitment scene for a while, helping clients, improving their services. What do you see as the biggest challenges in the current recruitment system, and how do you suggest solving that?
Well, well, a big challenge is lack
Yeah,
of connection, right?
yeah,
Because people have not been able to enjoy being closely connected in the past year plus now. So that has proved to be very much a challenge, and especially in healthcare, where it's important. It's part of the job to be one on one with your patient, helping patients, being close to them. So it's if you're going to be a nurse or a provider, unless you're in telehealth, I mean, you're
yeah,
going to have to be with these patients, right? And so that's been a big challenge, just kind of navigating through that and being able to hire someone without actually laying eyes on them, so to speak, and be
yeah,
with them in the same room. That's been a challenge. And then, of course, just that whole lack of connection. When you have lack of connection, there's also could be a lack of trust. And so trust is something that people crave right now. They want trust. So how do you build trust without having that physical connection? And so I'm learning this. I'm learning this myself. I mean, through my experience, because I wasn't doing this Zoom stuff that much. In fact, I think
yeah.
I may have been on Zoom once or twice ever before
Yeah.
the pandemic.
Before COVID, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So now I'm on it like 24/7. Well, not 24/7, but
Yes.
every day.
No, I
Every day.
can see you're very active on LinkedIn Live and Zoom, and you're really doing a great job.
Thank you. Well, so are you. You're doing an amazing job as well. So it's kind of like we're kind of helping each other.
Exactly,
Juggle.
exactly. Let's take some of our audience. Diana Walsh is joining us from Ireland. She's a great fan of the show. Thank you, Diana, for joining us.
Hi, Diana.
Gary DePaul, first time to attend a LinkedIn Live event from Charlotte, USA. How are you, Gary? Gary has also a great podcast, and he's a friend. Thank you, Gary, for joining us.
Gary, thank you. Thank you for being here.
We have Shadi from Egypt. Thank you, Shadi, for joining us. Ahmed Khaled from Saudi Arabia,
Yes,
great
yes,
friend.
hello,
Yeah,
Ahmed. Yes.
how are you doing?
Good to see you, my friend.
Osama also is doing great live shows. Thank you, Osama, for joining us.
Absolutely. Sama.
Yeah, Shay Lynch is here also from Ireland.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shay, for joining us.
Good to see you, Shay.
Olga, hello, how are you doing? Olga, thank you for joining us.
Yes, yes. Olga looks quite reflective in her picture. She's
Yes.
very cool.
Yeah, really cool. I like it. Ahmed Khaled is enjoying the music also. We can hear a little bit of music in the
Oh,
background. How do you?
I forgot. I forgot. I mean, do you want me to cut that off? I'm sorry if it's too loud.
Yeah.
I didn't even mean to have that on. So is that okay?
No, no, it's cool. I like it. Yeah,
So that's all
yeah.
good. All right. Cool. Cool. All right.
So, Rollis, tell us as we were talking about live shows. I see that you grew an expertise in that, and tell us what makes a live show successful. And for people like, for example, we've seen some people joining us for the first time for live shows. How to make it successful, and what are the key factors to make it like successful and more engaging? And if someone want to start live shows, what's your advice to them?
The first thing I'll say is, why? What's your why? Like, why do you want to have the show? That's a big thing, because if your why is not big enough, you're likely going to quit because you're not going to
Uh,
see immediate results. Your why has to be big enough to get you through the tough times. You know this, Ahmed. I mean, you might
yes.
go live and nobody shows up. What happened?
Exactly.
Nobody showed up for my live. So I think your why has to be big. You want to have some kind of theme or topic you want to accomplish. People are connected with topics right now. So if you're not putting out topics that are resonating with your audience, then you need to change the topic. Talk about something else. I would say also, whatever you're going to talk about, free form. If you just like to talk into the camera, if
Yeah.
make sure you talk about stuff that people want to hear.
Yes.
Because if you're not, then nobody's going to want to watch it. Okay. So that's just the way it is. Because there's just so many choices, right? I mean, a lot of us have shows. We can turn on a cable TV. I got a couple of hundred channels there. I got YouTube. They got millions of videos I can watch. So it has to be something that resonates with the audience. But here's the good thing I will say: start where you are. Don't worry about the other guys. Just be you. Present yourself to the camera, and more people are going to connect. You're going to find a tribe somewhere. Somebody's going to appreciate you and the things that you bring to the table, Ahmed, or the things I bring to the table, or some of the other people you mentioned. And so we don't need everybody, right? We don't need the whole world to watch our show. There's
True.
7 people in the world. We don't need all of them. That
Yes.
would shut down my show. Internet would shut down. So I just want a small amount of people to watch my show and connect with them, and then you'll find that it grows. I think one of the things I love about live that's different from recorded videos is that there's a sense of community. So like Frank here and Olga and all these other people, we're all watching and enjoying this at the same time.
That's
Whereas on a
true.
recorded video, we're all watching it at different times, right? So I think that's unique with
I
live.
agree. Yes, yes. The engagement and you must find, as you said, your why, the reason you're making the show, and your target market or the people who enjoys your show. You will find them, as you said. Someone will be there, like what you're offering to them. So, I totally agree with you. That's really good points.
Yeah,
We have
and
it. Yeah,
when you're sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. Take your time. No, take your
So when
time.
you're
We're just
starting off, I would suggest to go to your tribe that you already have. You obviously know people before you start a show.
yes,
People who care about you, you care about them, like and trust them. Get with those people and just focus on them at first. So if it's let's say it's about your business, I'm sure there's people in your business that are passionate about the same subject that you can connect with. Connect with those
yes,
people. Make sure you watch at a time it's convenient to them. You guys can watch it together as a community and do it that way. Start from there, and then other people will start following. They'll start seeing what's going on because their friends will see, oh, Ahmed's watching this show. He's watching Frank's show or Olga's show or whatever. And let me see what's going on there. And they jump in, and then someone else in their network jumps in. And before you know it, it starts to build. So I think it just start with a few of your friends first.
yeah. That's the power of the word of mouth and networking. Totally agree with you, Rollis.
Absolutely, but I wouldn't suggest, unless you just want to do it on your own. I wouldn't suggest just starting a live show without telling anybody. I would say tell people in your network that you're going to have this show. Let them know what it's going to be about. Involve them in the process. One of the things too that helped me too, Ahmed, I don't know if you do this. I try and check in with my audience to see from time to time what I could do better, what ideas
Yeah,
they have, what they would like me to talk about, because they want you to be successful. They want to help you. So
true.
it's kind of like a give and take. And I've gotten my best ideas from my audience, absolute best ideas from my audience.
I totally agree. Do you do that through polls or through connecting with them by messages, or how do you do it usually?
Direct messages, direct
Yeah,
messages. In fact, what I did last year is I created a little chat, and I'm gonna do it again. It's still there, but I don't use it as much because a lot of them have their schedules have changed where they're not as involved. But basically, what I did is I created a little bitty chat inside LinkedIn. The next time I do, I think I'm gonna do it in WhatsApp. But you
yeah.
just create a little group. So look, you got, and I called them VIPs. They were my VIPs. I'm like, you are
Oh,
my LinkedIn Live VIPs, and I want to bring
great.
you into the group. And I invited them in the group because these are people that were on several shows. They commented, they
Yes,
liked the shows, and say, you know what, I want you to be part of my VIP crew. And they loved it. And so, what's really
it's
cool
great.
about that particular message group is they've all become friends. That's the beautiful thing
Yes,
about it.
yes,
So not only did I bring them into the VIP to help me out with getting ideas, which they gave me great ideas, they actually became friends to this day because of that. So it creates, you can literally create a community. You've probably already seen that amongst your folks, Ahmed. It's a
yes.
community where they get to know each other, right?
That's true. That's true. But the idea is great. Yes, you have a community. You have some people who join the show regularly. So it's very nice, very good idea that you can take ideas from them, and exactly at the end of the day, you'll become like friends and the community tribe, like you were saying. Yes,
Yeah.
totally true. Love
Because
that.
I found when I did posts and I asked them in a poll or in a post, sometimes a lot of people they're not as comfortable saying something on the open LinkedIn network.
Yeah.
They're a
Yes.
little uneasy sometimes about commenting. So that's why I went to them directly so they could freely tell me what they're thinking. And I got some great ideas from them.
Yeah, definitely. I like the idea that it's more close, more comfortable. People will be more comfortable on like on WhatsApp, on a group, like more friendly atmosphere. I totally agree with you.
Yeah,
Isaac here.
absolutely.
We have Isaac is from Kenya joining us. Thank you, Isaac.
Hello, Isaac. Isaac,
Oh,
welcome.
how are you?
Oh,
Yeah, Ahmed Khaled is saying yes, exactly. We don't have enough reason for your show. You've quit early. That's true. You must
oh,
be consistent and have go for your why.
yeah.
Yes.
So,
Ustad
one
Isaac, tell me. Yeah,
one of the things, the idea about asking my audience that came from Jonathan Palmer. He helped me with that idea. But then another thing that just Ahmed just reminded me of Lila Smith. She gave me this idea last year. I said, I feel a little uneasy because sometimes I'm doing a show and I'm looking at those numbers and the numbers are kind of small. Sometimes I see the number go down, I see the number go up, and I'm like, well, what did I
ah,
say? Did I say something wrong? Or if the number goes up, I was like, oh, I must have said something good. Let me say some more of that. And I'm just like
yeah.
watching that number the whole time, right, going up and down.
It'll make you
And
nervous. Yeah.
she's like, don't look at the numbers. Who cares? Don't look at the
Yes.
numbers. Don't pay
Yes.
attention to the numbers. Just do your show.
Yes.
Connect with
Yes.
your audience.
Exactly. I've got this also that don't look at anything. It's as if you are only talking, and then see the result after what's happening. Watch how was the engagement and all that, and it will improve by time. So everything improves by time and consistency, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And then recently I got because I engage coaches. If that's one thing I would suggest is engage a coach if you don't have one. But another
Yeah,
coach gave me an idea. Shanae Moray.
yeah,
She said, "Look, you need to vary your content a little more. You're doing too much of the same thing."
uh,
So she gave me the idea of outside of my live show to show more things that are kind of behind the scenes or just show me with no background, just me
yeah,
outside or something like that. Give your audience something different. And
yeah,
that was great advice because when I started doing that, I saw the audience starting to build more because they felt like I guess maybe they felt like they connect with me more. But you know the reason why I didn't do that, Ahmed, before?
yeah. What's
The
the
reason why I
reason?
didn't do it before is because I didn't feel like they'd be interested in me. Who cares? Like
Yeah,
nobody cares about what I'm doing personally, or whatever. But I was wrong. They actually do want it. They want to know. They want to know that you're a real person they can vibe with.
yeah, I totally agree. Of course, shout out to Shanae Moray. She has great ideas and experience in that. So, yeah, we must, as you said, we must have a coach. We don't know everything, and we must be open to new ideas. You're totally right.
Yeah, absolutely. And your coaches sometimes can come from the most unexpected places. I mean, those were expected. I was expecting them to give me certain advice. But then there's others too that have also coached me on little things too that I never would have thought, like especially from my audience. And then also sometimes from the guests. The guests will help too. I actually have guests who help me get other guests. Have you had that on
Yes.
me?
Yeah, this happened. They send me messages and they suggest without asking them. They tell me, for example, this guy will be good for your show. Why? And I will introduce you to him. And I like this kind of passion from people. So I tell them, of course, I'm open to have anyone in the show. And it ends up to be a great success. One of the best
Exactly.
maybe live shows I did was something like that. Yeah, suggestion from someone who's following the show.
Exactly. So you never know where it's going to come from. The best ideas, sometimes I ask crazy questions during the show. I just try it out as a little bit of a experiment because I like to experiment on my show, try different things, right? And it just so happens that not only do the guests like it, but the audience likes it too. And sometimes the audience will jump in and they'll give their answers to the questions too. And even these big guests that I felt like I was very self conscious about asking them these silly questions, that like we all have our list, right? These top guests we want to have,
Yes,
and they were the ones who told me I like that. This is one of the things I like about your show is that you ask these crazy questions because it gets me to thinking differently. I was like, wow. So I use it as an example. Not that you need to ask crazy questions, but the thought is that sometimes there's things that you would never realize that's unique about you that your audience really appreciates about you that you may think about stop doing, but your audience sometimes will help you to say, no, you need to keep doing that because that's really
Yes.
cool. We like that.
Yeah, you got these ideas from the audience, and they give you like confirmation that you're on the right track. I totally agree with you. Tell
Exactly.
me, I want to take something from your live shows. I found it interesting the how to get your HR projects approved by leadership. What's like three, four important tips? Because I like this kind of show, and I would love if you share it with our audience.
Well, you know what? I know you're a numbers guy, Ahmed. I mean, you're sharp with that. I've noticed that in a lot of your posts. And HR people typically are people persons first, right?
Yes.
They're more like collaborative, relationship, touchy feely kind of people. And so that doesn't always play in the numbers. And one of the biggest things I see that is missing is that they don't know their numbers. And if you go into a meeting with C-suite or with a leader and you don't know your numbers, you're negotiating from a very weak position. So
Yes.
I think it's very important. Number one is know your numbers. Know how is this going to impact the organization if they don't take on your solution, if they do take on your solution, and then what's also the number? What do the numbers look like if they took on your solution at least partially?
Yeah.
And so let's look at the results, okay? And you tell me which result do you want, and they're going to pick the better result, which involves
Yes.
them taking on your project. Another thing too,
Yes.
I learned from a she's a CHRO of a large health system here in Houston area. I love what she said too. She says also put some skin in the game. Tie yourself to the project. Sometimes we like to distance ourselves from the project. Oh, if
Yeah.
you do this project and if it works out, great. It was my idea. But if it doesn't work out, it's that's that project's fault, not me. Like, take some ownership with it. That you know what? Here's a
Yes.
consequence. If this doesn't work out, it's on me.
Yes.
That sort of thing. Being willing to take that. Those are two big things. I think that is usually missing. And then I think another thing too that I think that HR leaders don't think about as much is there is kind of a nuance with the whole selling thing. So the know, like, and trust thing, right? So if they have a relationship that's very good and tight with this person who their leader is, who they're talking to, then the presentation could be very short. It doesn't need to be long.
Yeah. Yes.
Just a few quick points and let's move on. Because the executive doesn't want to spend 2 hours talking about it. Let's just do it.
True. True.
Now, if it's a situation where maybe you're in a big room and it's a board meeting, and they're going to want you to have maybe a little bit more. Maybe you need to have a presentation available, go do some case studies and that sort of thing. So they may need more information. Still, don't give them too much though, because then they're going to mentally check out too. They'll be checking their phones and thinking about what they're going to have for
Yes.
dinner and stuff. But so it needs to be longer, but definitely you don't want to have a situation where it's super long. I think another thing is that they try and go through too much detail. And I think actually those of us who are vendors, including myself, Ahmed, I've made the mistake of explaining too much and
Yeah.
going into detail, and I lose them.
Yeah, exactly. You lose the audience when you go into too much details, and people want sometimes when you go up on the scale or the top management, they are decision makers and they want something quick, and they want the numbers, as you said, to make the decisions quickly. Maybe they don't have time, or they will lose interest quickly if you don't give them like the main subject or whatever you want to sell at the beginning of the presentation, I believe.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's 100%.
Tell me about the art of creating job ads, and how do companies make it more appealing? I know you're good at that, and how to direct it to the right targeted talents. Can anybody do a job ad? Is it like easy, or sometimes it's misleading? Sometimes we see people like putting age and discrimination, putting age in certain nationality or something like that. These are types of mistakes that I see. Tell me about the art of creating a job ads from point of view.
Some of the principles that I shared with the live show earlier, I think also apply here. One of the things that I did a few years ago to help me, because I was struggling, I was putting ads out there, I was trying to help my customers, and these hard to find applicants just were not applying for the jobs like what I thought they would. So what I did is I started asking my audience, So even if you have to do pay consulting, ask who it is who you're trying to bring in. So let's say you have this job. These applicants are very hard to find. Let's say it's an engineer or software engineer or a web developer, or in my case, a registered nurse or physician, whatever it is. Um, Start consulting with those folks who you're trying to bring in, and ask them, what do you want to see in a job ad? What's important to you when you're looking at a job?
Okay.
What's the information that's important to you? So I did that with dozens of people, so I can share some of the things that I found when I talk with them. And I'll
Yeah,
just
that's
I'll
great.
encapsulate a few of them. So I've done dozens of interviews, and our answers are pretty much the same. It's the same whether I ask a physician, an executive, or a nurse. They're pretty much telling me the same thing. So they want to know things like, for instance, in a video, for example, because they love video. They like the idea of seeing a video.
Yeah.
They want to see who they would potentially be working for. So you want to have the hiring manager in the video. And
Okay.
the first thing that they want to know when they see that video, what do you think they want to know, Ahmed? I was kind of surprised.
The first thing they want to know in the video?
About the hiring manager when they see that. Yeah, in the video. You got to guess?
No,
Okay.
tell me no. And
Okay,
I'm
I'll tell you.
curious to know. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first thing I want to know is like, is this person a jerk, and can I work for this person? And obviously they say it in different ways, but in so many words,
Yeah.
that's basically what they're saying is that, can I work for this? Is this person someone I feel I can get along with? And it's
Yeah.
interesting. We usually make a judgment on someone usually within the first few seconds of meeting them. We
Yeah.
just do. That's just how
Yeah.
we're wired, right? So even if the video was a minute long, they're starting to make a decision within the first 5 to 10 seconds. In fact, in Facebook, when I was doing a lot of advertising on Facebook, they would start charging you for a video after 3 seconds. So that person has to decide pretty much within the first few seconds if they want to watch this video. So people are making split decisions very quickly. So who they're going to work for is important. They also want to see other staff they would be working with, so that they're asking themselves, can I work with this
The
person?
environment, yeah. The environment, if it's toxic or not, yeah. Yes.
Exactly. And even though they're saying certain things, they're looking at their body language, their facial expression, how they're saying it, and they're like, I don't know if I like that person. I don't know if I can work with them. They're already thinking about, oh, I love that person. Oh, I really connect with her. So those are decisions they're making as they're watching the video. And the other thing they want to know is, what equipment am I working with? What's the environment like there? Are they working with super old equipment? I mean, do they have like monitors that from 2009? They're looking engaging things out. How does it look inside where they're going to be working? Those are the 3 things I get the most often that they want to see in a video. So a really inexpensive way, if someone is just starting out with a company and you want to bring some people on board, whip out your iPhone and make a video. Just start talking about what kind of person you're looking for. Let them know what the work is. A guy by the name of Lou, all of a sudden I can't remember his last name. It's like on the tip of my tongue, but I just forgot it. Wow, it'll come to me later. Lou's a great guy. He's a legend in the recruiting field, Ahmed. And what he says is so true. He says most job descriptions actually aren't job descriptions. They're people descriptions. Because when you look at the description, it describes what kind of person should be in that job. Like this amount of years of experience, this kind of education, should have these kind of skills. Well, you're not describing the job. You're describing the person. He says we need to have more jobs that actually describe the job.
Yes.
So that's one thing you want to do is you want to have a job description that actually describes the job, not the person as much. Obviously, you do have some things about the person, but most of it needs to be about the job, the work itself. And that way the person can gauge if something is something they want to do and that they're qualified for, if you are accurately saying that. And then in a video, share more about the job, but just don't talk too long though. We found that these candidates do not want to see a super long video. So probably keep it around a minute or so. And if you got more to say, make another video.
Okay.
Make a separate. Did that give you enough? I probably gave you too much, huh?
No, no, that's great. That's great. I like the information and the values like a minute or two for the video, so people don't lose interest and all that. Yes, of course, about the job description, talking about the job more, and yeah, I like that. That's good information, I think, for me and for all the audience. Menna Mohsen also agrees with us. Thank you for joining us, Menna Mohsen. And Murtada Haitar from Egypt, he's an expert also in HR for maybe 25 or 30 years. I worked with him. Great guy. He's saying, agree, know your numbers well, and most important, know the business well. Absolutely, Murtada. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. I love all these great comments. I love your audience. Your audience is awesome.
Osama is with us, very active, of course, and a great friend. Ask the right question and surely lead to a great realization. Yes, Osama.
Ooh, can I talk about that one? This is a great point.
Yes.
I love this. Okay. All right. So there's an old saying that, if I say it, you might doubt it. But if you say it, it's true.
Yeah.
So if there's something you want to point, the main point of your discussion, whatever that is, you want to get them to say it, not you. So the best thing to do is what Usama says is you ask the right questions so you get the right answers.
True.
So I tell you, I'm so glad he said that because it's so true. Learn how to ask better questions more than how to present better. That's going to get you further.
Yes. That's a really good point. We have Sarah here. I think she was in one of your shows. Yeah, yes. She was one of your shows that I'm a follower of your show, so I know she was in one of your shows.
Yes, you're right. Thank you so much. Yeah, she did a great job. She was on one of our panels recently on one of our Business Casual Fridays. That was fun.
Yes, she's saying describe the job even if the job titles are off and don't reflect the job duties. Absolutely, Sarah. She nailed it here. Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you an inside secret. This is an inside secret in HR. Now, look, HR people, don't get mad at me. But one of the things I've seen happen is, okay, so, and I'm not saying it happens everywhere, guys. Okay, I'm not saying it happens everywhere, but it does happen. So what are we going to call this, what is call this job? And they'll say, well, let's just go on Indeed and see what other companies have what they call it.
Yeah.
And that goes into the decision as to what they're going to call a certain job title. And then as far as the duties, let's just go. I've done it before. I've actually done this. Let's go on Indeed and see other similar jobs. Let's just see what their duties are, and then we'll just basically use a form of that and kind of customize it a little bit. So not a lot of thought is put into it. It actually takes time to sit down with an executive and ask them a series of questions of what this person will actually be doing. And a lot of times those executives don't want to give you that time. But this is where we have to be more assertive that, no, this is important. We want to get you the right person. We need to go through these job duties. Another thing that happens, to Sarah's point, is the job duties change.
Yeah.
The stuff I'm doing right now is not stuff I was doing a year and a half ago. So my job description has changed. I wasn't a live stream host.
Yeah.
That's part of it. So things change all the time. So is your job description changing with evolving with the job?
Yeah, that's why I think you should not copy from other companies, because even the environment is different. The roles will be different from one company to another. Absolutely, totally agree with you.
And hiring managers probably do it more than HR. I said HR, but probably hiring managers do it more than that.
Yes, Pragmata from India, a great friend also. He's saying he doesn't have an HR background. He managed finance and business roles and completely agree with what you have shared. Thank you, Frank Vector, for joining
awesome.
us.
Thank you, Prag. Appreciate you.
So tell me about LinkedIn and your journey on LinkedIn. When did you start, and all the mentors that you have, and how did it this great platform help you shift your career and meet new people, grow your business?
Well, when I started on LinkedIn,
and first of all, sorry to interrupt you. Thank you. Congratulations for the 30,000 followers and the great video that you put there.
Oh, thank you. That was so much fun.
Yes.
I had fun with that thing. So what was the question again? I forgot.
Yeah, your LinkedIn journey, how did it start, and all the mentors that you have, and how it helped you shifted your career and grow your current career in entrepreneurship, finding leads, and all that.
Okay,
so
I'm going to give you the good stuff first. The good stuff first is that LinkedIn is responsible so far in 2021. It's responsible for 100% in part, uh, up to 100% of all of the clients we're bringing in right now.
Wow.
These clients are aware of our LinkedIn presence, or they've come across our LinkedIn presence. And so that's the good part, because everybody wants to know about that. It's like, how does it affect the bottom line? In fact, my team
Yes.
was asking me that a year ago. My team was saying, why are we doing all these live shows? And can you just give us the answer? They weren't saying that we shouldn't do it. They sincerely wanted to know the reasons why are we doing this, because they know it wasn't bringing in revenue. Okay.
Yeah.
But they're not asking that anymore because they're seeing the results. So they're
Yes.
gonna ask. So if you do have staff, I think you need to explain to them why you want to have a live show and what the big plan is, how this is going to work into your whole revenue stream. So that is important. So there's the good news. It is bringing in revenue. It's bringing in clients, which is wonderful.
Great.
It wasn't doing that last year though. Not for the most part. It was not. I would say at the very best, it was getting us speaking gigs, which that was cool. But it wasn't getting us clients. This year, it's actually getting us clients. Now, one of the things that it helps us with, in terms of when I say helps to get us clients, is that it brings up the awareness level of people that may not have been aware of us before, and they become aware of us by two different ways. One is by watching the show. The other is by being on the show.
Great.
And so either one of them gives them an opportunity for us to know, like, and trust each other. I get a chance to know them better, more about what's going on with them. They get a chance to know a little bit more about us. And so because of that, that has been integral to our business. Now, I think I've gotten off on a tangent and I forgot the full question again. What was the question? One more time. I want to make sure I answer the question directly.
Yeah. We're talking about how part of the question you answered. How did it help you get like leads? And when did you start it? Yeah, when did you start it, and how long did it take you to reach 30,000 followers and all that? Yeah.
See, I was giving them the chocolate cake first. I was giving them the good stuff first, right? Okay.
Yes, as you said in the presentation, you start with the numbers and
exactly. Okay. So as far as how I got started, my boss back in 2008, 2009 says, "Hey, you got to check out this new site. It's called LinkedIn." And LinkedIn started not too long before that. I mean, it was pretty new back then. But my boss her name is Misty Cawthon. She was always into kind of the new stuff going on. She was the first who introduced me to the iPhone and all that. Anyway, I got into it back then, started connecting, and I was on it for a little while. I didn't do much. But then I came across this guy. This guy, his name was Eric Stanley. He's still on the platform.
Okay.
He had like 10,000 connections. And I was like, wow, this guy has 10,000 connections. This is amazing. I want to be like this guy. And then I started looking up other people, and I found out that the limit is 30,000, right? So 30,000 is the limit. You can't. It's the most connections you can have. Period. It wasn't like a follower thing. People didn't know about the whole follower thing back then. This is like early 2000, like 2011, 2010, something like that. So that's how I started. Is like, okay, it's all about connecting. They didn't have video. They didn't have all this other stuff they have now, which is the basic platform to basically find jobs and recruit people. Basically for recruiters and people looking for jobs. So a lot of my connections have been like Lewis Howes. You could probably know Lewis Howes, right?
Yes.
He's like his big show and all that. I looked at the other day. I connected with him like in 2010.
Wow.
That's that's how long I've been on the platform. But for every Lewis Howes, there's probably like 1,000 people who don't really on LinkedIn, not on LinkedIn anymore. They don't do anything on LinkedIn. There's no activity. Some of the people I'm connected with, they haven't been connected with for like 5 years. So I have the challenge I made is I have all these connections, but a lot of them aren't active on the platform. So what do I do? I'm curious. Does anybody in your audience, have they been on the platform for more than 10 years or more than, let's say, 5 or 6 years? And do you have the same problem where some of your audience are not active on the platform?
True. Some, yes.
Yeah. So my issue was, how do I grow a network when I'm connected with a lot of people who aren't really active on the platform? And so I really embraced the idea of content creation to get more people attracted to my profile through content creation. And I'm a small business owner guy too, and I'm like, how do I get more, eyeballs to my business? And our team is amazing. How can I shed more light on our team? And I felt like LinkedIn gave us an opportunity, and especially recently through live stream, to be what we call in Texas a big fish in a small pond, right?
Yeah.
You,
Yes.
so you're able to really show up better in a platform that's maybe a little bit smaller. It's smaller than a Facebook or a YouTube, but I'm
Yeah.
able to really shine. So it has given us an opportunity to do that. And so we started off with text posts, then we did picture posts, and then last year we started doing more video posts along with live streaming. And now we do a mixture of all of that. We even do some audio stuff too. So once
Great.
you combine all of that and give all of that variety and a consistency, I post stuff every day. I
Yeah.
mean, the only time I don't post something maybe is on the weekends. Sometimes I don't post anything. But on the weekdays, I post every day. So it's not like I had some special sauce or some special ingredient. It's like you just come. I know we keep hearing over and over, oh God, he's gonna say it again. Consistency, being on the platform day after day, just grinding it. Just grind. That's the grind, man. That's how you grow it. It's just it is the grind at the end of the day. But you do have to vibe with people. You have to make sure you actually post stuff that people want to see. And this platform will let you know real quick if it's not resonating because your post won't go anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
Yeah. I
keep doing
totally
it.
agree. Keep doing
Keep
it. Keep doing it every day, and I think, yeah, I know that, and I think this we got this maybe advice from our great mentor Shanae Moray. She's always say post regularly, post daily. I remember I seen you on one of your shows, and when you told her that I was not posting regularly, I remember she told you have to do it, and you'll see
Yes,
the results. And she's honestly, whatever she says, it happens. So it's good to have someone like you can trust and a mentor that you can trust. So you're talking also about your mentors on LinkedIn. You met for sure a lot of mentors on LinkedIn who helped you to grow your network.
absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't agree more, man.
Yeah,
It's important to have mentors and coaches. And I have people all the time who send me these messages. Oh, let me help you market your message to LinkedIn so more people can see it. And then I just happen to look at their profile and they have like 500 connections.
yeah,
There's no credibility there. So
yes.
if you're gonna give people advice, make sure you have credibility. So
This,
Shanae, one of those, she has credibility. She has like 950,000 followers. Okay, if she says something, I'm probably more likely to listen to it. I mean, that's just the way. That's just how people are in
yeah,
general. You know. So it's same way with like Jonathan Palmer. He went from like no
yeah.
connections hardly to over 150,000 followers in just a matter
And
of
he's
months.
doing amazing videos. To shout out to Jonathan Palmer, of
Doing a great
course.
job,
Amazing,
excellent
amazing.
job.
Yeah,
And so I've gotten some advice from some really really qualified folks that have really helped me. But now you have coaches in certain areas, right? So Shanae's got her strong points. Jonathan has his strong points. I talked about Lila. She has her strong points. I've got a lot of coaches. Other coaches I haven't named because you probably wouldn't know who they were. But they all have their things that they are specialists in that
strong.
have a higher level of knowledge than I do. So find those people. You don't have to go to that one person for everything, but go to them
Yes.
for what they shine in so that they can really help you.
That's a great advice. Exactly. Great, Rollis. Yes. Osama, here is say you're super cool, and we have already an invitation for you to another show. Osama wants you on your show anytime you're free.
Awesome. Well, I'll be happy to be on this show. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you,
Amazing.
Osama. Fragmenta, yeah, thank you, Fragmenta, so much. A regular to our show, and thank you for this great comment. Of course, we're trying here in the show to get people like Rollis and different industry leaders and influencers to inspire us. So, thank you so much for your lovely comment.
Awesome.
Fragmenta saying content creation is so true as it's the best way to share your thoughts and ideas and also to enhance the network. Totally agree with you.
Absolutely.
Before we go, and of course, we don't want to go, Rollis. We want to see you more and more and hear from you more and more. Do you have any questions to me before we go?
Any questions for you? Let's see. What would my questions be to ask? Since I'm Think Big Junior, what would I ask Think Big Senior? You
Yeah.
know, one thing I really appreciate about what you did last night, when you put that out, you had a tribe that was just like they were on it, man. They were just putting message after message, looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So tell me what's your big? Tell me your thing. So how'd you build your tribe, my man? I think I want to hear about this. How'd you get there? It was awesome.
Thank you, thank you. I just engage with people more and more, engage with their posts. It doesn't matter if they, I don't look at if they engage, so I will pay back and engage. No, I just go and engage with people, help people, and give endlessly, really, and it pays back. Just to just give people more and more, and appreciate also people during the show. Appreciate the people who come to the show regularly, show their comments, and read them. It's all about emotional connection, and it's human to human, as you know. So people get. Get to know you more, get to be on your tribe, and I like the idea of what you said about the WhatsApp group. Maybe I will do this also to all the
Awesome.
VIPs, all the VIPs who join us. Yeah.
Sorry about that. I had to start. Let's see. Here we go. Sorry. Are
What happened?
you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So I had a little issue here. I was trying to give you my little.
Claps, huh?
I had a little issue. Okay? Can you see it now?
Not yet.
Okay. Let's try it now. There we
Yeah.
go. That's for you, my man. That's for you.
Thank you, Rollis. Thank you so much, and I think this is for you also, and for all great people who joined us. Thank you so much for coming on the show, and I'm looking forward to be part of any time of your LinkedIn live show. I love your work, of course, and we're always connected. So keep in touch, and thanks for everyone who joined us today in this great episode.
Ahmed, can I show you? Can I share with you how I feel right now after being on your show?
Yes, please.
I feel like that right there.
That's amazing, man. You should teach us how you do this amazing stuff. It's really fun.
Absolutely,
That's fun to the
absolutely,
show.
man. Absolutely. You got me doing the happy dance over here. I appreciate that too. You know, laughter's
uh,
a good thing, my man, isn't it? Laughter's
yes,
a
of
good thing.
course. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much, Rollis, and have a great day. And it was a great show, and great to have you today.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you everyone for being involved with the show today. Your comments, man, the comments from your tribe is awesome, man. I love the
Uh,
network you have here. It's a good vibe all around.
yes, thank you, Kamal Rossi joined us at the last moments. Thank you, Kamal. Thank you so much for joining us.
Appreciate you coming out.
Great, great, Rollis. Have a good day, and thank you so much. See you soon. Bye bye,
Bye,
everybody. Bye
everyone.
bye. Bye bye.